Yo,
How's it going?
good man. How are you doing?
Good.
I actually had a really shit quad workout today.
How
One
come?
one of those ones where just, knees hurt, ankles hurt, like joints just hurt, contraction. I couldn't focus on a contraction because everything just hurt through movements.
Where are you at in your like seasons right now?
So doing a little pull down mid bulk off season right now. So I'm in a bit of a small, I don't know, not even a deficit. I just not a surplus anymore.
So you're as heavy as you've been probably ever right now, right?
No, I'm actually about 10 pounds down from I got up to about 288 about a month and a half ago. I'm about high 270s now, like 279 ish.
I feel like when you're putting on weight like that, it doesn't matter how well you're doing it, how you're doing everything right, how pristine your training is. Like shit just hurts.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. And last week was one of those weeks where it was like a slang and bang, heavy, just
Yeah,
super intense. And I think there's some carryover from last week on the joints.
for sure.
What's up, Chris?
Hey guys, what's going on?
I was telling Mike about how my body hurts today, but I was also priming myself for this episode. I went back and watched the Haters Ball skit from Dave Chappelle. Just finished that. So I'm all
Nice.
primed. I'm Slick Johnson today.
Nice. Hell yeah.
How is dieting going, my friend?
Which one? Both of us? Me? Mike?
You.
Going really good. Hit my lightest. I've been all prepped today. Got 2 high days now back to back to fill back up.
Nice.
I just finished training quads, and it was nice to actually do heavy hack squats without any knee fucking issues today. So
Oh yeah, man. That'd be nice. I would have loved to have been able to do that today.
you know, I've tried this whole feet low on the platform doing hack squat and getting this like crazy ass knee flexion. Like my legs don't work that way. They just don't. I've been doing hack squats off and on for the last couple of years, and I just always have like knee issues because I'm missing my PCL in my left knee. So I end up just putting my feet, a little bit shoulder width apart today, toes forward, a little bit higher up on the platform.
Yep.
Wow, no knee pain.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes, Mike, you're the training expert. When you get to a certain level, how much difference does those advantageous positions really make?
So I'm in the stream of thought that all this like crazy manipulation of like where your feet are, or like this fucking crazy exaggerated stretch, or like doing the like sissy squats on a hack machine, which is really what Chris is talking about, getting to this like extreme knee flexion. I don't think that's adding any value because all that stuff is just going to severely limit your output, and you can't target a head of your quad. I don't care what the fuck you tell me, how long you've been doing this, what study you read. It doesn't happen. So like
No, you
make a
can't.
movement that targets the area that you're interested in, and then set up that in a set up in a way that makes you your strongest. That's not me telling you to limit your ROM, but like I put my feet on hack squat where at the bottom of the rep, my knees do not start moving backward, right? Because once your knees start moving backward, then you're just moving into more hip flexion. But that's the only thing I worry about. If my feet are where it needs to be to get as much deflection as I can get while still having a stable base, that's where I put my feet. And I don't. The exercise does not matter. Like assume a position that makes you strong and powerful, and that prioritizes the muscle group you're training, and be done with it. Cut out all this other stupid bullshit.
Yeah, interesting.
Yep.
I always, and I guess this is along the same lines. When I did some more personal training back in the day, I always used to tell people when I was teaching a squat, like if you were going to jump as high as you can, take one step in, jump in high as you can. That's ideally where you want your foot placement in your squat, like where you will be most powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's similar to the concept you're talking about.
It's the same exact idea. Now, there's cues I can give you to make a hack squat more effective for you to hit your quads. Or like I can say, okay, when you do this, think about doing a leg extension while doing a hack squat, right? And that might help you get more intention on your quad. But the goal is never to just like go as far as you can in a knee flexion. Like all this shit about like laying back on the leg extension to get a crazy quad stretch. Fucking why? Are leg extensions broken? Has anyone had trouble building their quads doing leg extensions? Like, no. We've been doing it the same way for fucking 100 years and they still work. Why are we doing this? And it's funny
they say to do that leg extension like when they lie back like that because they say it targets the rectus femoris, but you can honestly do that just by getting a full fucking range of motion and contracting hard at the top.
Yeah. Like the leg extension automatically is going to hit your femoris harder because it crosses your hip and you're immobilizing your hip. So what are we worrying about? And it's funny you mentioned the jumping thing. That's a common practice for in a lot of sports and training. But I do the same thing with people when I pose them. I'll put them square, flat-footed, like just stand there like you normally are, and I'll push them in the chest. And where their foot lands behind them, I say, okay, that's where we're going to start for your setup for your rear double and your rear lat.
Interesting.
Start there, make a change if you need to. But for most people, in most situations, where your body comfortably lands is where it wants to be, and it's where you're going to be able to pull out the most detail from. That changes as you grow, obviously. Like if you have massive adductors, you're not going to be standing 6 inches apart at the toes. But for the most part, let your body dictate your mechanics, right? Like don't try and force yourself into something that you saw somebody do on the internet because they said it was 3% more effective for targeting your rectus femoris. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I remember when I started bodybuilding, they'd say feet close together to hit your outer sweep. And for years, I forced these incredibly uncomfortable positions in my squat.
The fucking Milos position.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, brother. It hurt so bad. But I did it.
If you look at his front relaxed and like his front doubles, his feet are like literally almost, the heels are fucking almost touching each other.
Oh, dude, I'm getting so agitated by this posing shit. Like, feet together. Well, if the judges wanted our feet together on stage today, they would say feet together. Yeah. Or they would say hands down. Or like Derek would be getting dinged for having his hands too high. If that's what the judges want, they'll ask for it. I don't give a shit what you think, what someone who competed 30 years ago thinks about today's posing. I really don't.
Yeah.
I just think pose the best way it looks on you.
Exactly. That's all it's about.
For sure. I'm starting to not give a shit about what anybody who competed 30 years ago thinks in general.
Same. I've been over it.
You know what's really funny? I saw this today, maybe yesterday. There's like endless reels and stories and shit of Sean Ray and Bob Chick and Milos and all them talking shit about how it used to be better and their ways correct and it was so much better in the past. And then there's videos of fucking Kevin LeBron just being a good dude, going out to events and meeting people and just being cool. It's like, why can't y'all just be that? Like this industry would be better if you guys just got on the train and helped it be better. But you want to try and drag it back to someplace it isn't anymore. And I know people eat that shit up. And I know like for some reason, all these guys have like fanboys in their 60s coming to comment in droves on Instagram. But like, it's so exhausting, man.
It is. Yeah. If a lot more of the older guys could be like Kevin and Jay, boy, it would be a better place.
Yep.
Yeah. Like imagine it just, I just couldn't imagine being a pro and being like a fan, like competing in the Olympia decades ago. And then just like the sport that paved your entire fucking career and persona. And then just coming online and just bashing the current talent.
Yeah.
Like so that I think's the problem, right? Because there's a difference there. Bodybuilding is not all Jay has. Bodybuilding is not all Kevin has. But I think bodybuilding is all Sean, Bob,
Milos.
These guys have. That's all they have. Which is cool if you want to stay, if you're stay in the industry, make it your job for your entire life. Okay, I get it. But like that can be done without being so critical of everyone that's doing it today.
Yeah, it's true. While we wait for other people, I don't know if anybody else is hopping on, but What did you guys? I didn't really pay attention to it, but I've seen it all over social media. What do we think of the enhanced games?
I didn't even know the company I work for was one of the main sponsors for it. I had no fucking clue. I watched
Coming from
I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
coming
shit.
yeah, coming from a swim background,
Yeah.
I watched a couple of those and I was like, good Lord.
I saw that one foot race with like the women, and it was like there was a natural girl that did it and smoked everybody. Like, and there was another girl like pulled a hammy while during the run. And
I think I read something that majority of the winners were natural competitors comparatively
just
to
high level
Which
athletes.
that should teach everybody a lesson. Well, maybe potentially 2 lessons, but the big one is it doesn't matter how many drugs you take. Genetics and hard work are going to overcome that the majority of the time in any endeavor where the goal isn't muscle mass or strength. And 5-10 pounds of muscle doesn't really benefit a sprinter that much, right? Like it's sprinting's mechanics. The second possible conclusion you could draw from that is that most of the Olympians are probably using some shit, which like shouldn't really be a surprise to anybody. Because it's a fucking gold medal on the line. Like I wouldn't, if there's a way, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Especially like some of the countries, I think it's like China or whatever, like they pay like their gold medalist winner like a shit ton of money.
Yeah, the
Like
government.
even like luxury, like high-rise apartments or penthouses or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I was reading what some of these countries do that, you know,
Insane.
the US gets jack shit. You get a gold medal and you get like 30K or something.
You're like, you're an athlete. Hey, congratulations. It's expected. You go anywhere else and you're a fucking millionaire and you're
They give you 30 grand and then they don't even give you condoms because you know those all get taken.
Yeah.
You see that? Did any of you see
What
that?
is the deal with that, man?
Yeah.
They say that
Why
the
are we-
Olympics is the most sexually active time ever.
Because from what I've read over the years, all the athletes abstain from, you know, fucking waxing their carrot or double clicking their mouse or doing whatever with other people, you know, leading up to the games. And then I guess when they're done with their events and they get this crazy fucking rush of euphoria, I'm sure they're just like they're looking for some massive dopamine hit, serotonin. So they're all just like, you know, jackrabbits.
But
Which
like,
makes me also wonder. This makes me also wonder, Mike. Are they on stuff? You know,
like they've gone through a lot of effort to like prevent that from like being a problem. But like, why are we preventing the most elite genetically capable people on the planet from having kids?
Yes.
Let them go. Let's make some superhumans, bro. Like, what are we doing?
That's what I was saying. It's a perfect breeding ground for the next generation of ultimate athletes. Like, come on.
maybe they don't want some of these like
Just
high
get it
level
done.
athletes getting knocked up and not competing.
Yeah,
training
that's
because
true.
it draws from the crowd.
True.
The other crazy thing about the Olympics, I think it was the last one. They specifically engineered the beds so that it wouldn't support the body weight of 2 people.
Yeah, and they were tiny.
Like made out of cardboard and shit.
Yeah, I saw that.
A lot of doggy
sex
style
on-
going on.
Like that, yeah. Having sex on the
I
floor.
wonder which IKEA made all those. Everyone had to put their bed together, and then they're like, "Wait, where's the rest of it?"
Shades on the bottom.
So in the enhanced games, we had like some elite athletes, but who made up the field? Was it just kind of like weekend warriors? And
That I don't know. I mean, there were some guys, at least in the sprints, that had competed in the Olympics in the past.
okay,
Because I saw a few guys with images with the USA tracksuits on. But for the most part, right, it seems like you're either retired or you didn't quite make it, and you're like, "Fuck it, I'm going to send it." On the weightlifting side, though, I mean, there are guys all over Instagram that are doing Olympic lifts that are enhanced that are just like crushing world records, but they can't compete, right?
for sure.
So I think it was a good mix of that, but overall, I think that was like so much of a dud. I was like really not impressed.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know. It was going on
You know,
for
I don't know what
13
the ratings were or whatnot, but I would, if it continues to keep going, I would imagine it would grow bigger and bigger. Then you'll get actually people that have like sponsorships that are training for it. And then you get to see like some really cool physical specimens. But it's like if it's like a weekend warrior, it's like they probably have a full-time job. Like they can't sit there and dedicate training like they do in the actual Olympics.
Well,
You know,
here's my question too. Okay, so we get some ex-Olympic athletes, so the genetic elite. Now, the other people that are performance enhancing users, they weren't. Let's say a lot of them weren't good enough to make the Olympic teams anyway. So, and you already have this discrepancy here. Like, is this enhancement going to make up for your shortcomings already in said given sport? I just think there's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see anywhere where like they detailed who was who and what their path, because that would have been nice to see as like a profile on everybody, where they came from, what they do, what they've been doing. Not that I want to see like a drug protocol, even that would probably be pretty cool to see.
That would
I don't know.
Well, that would be awesome if they gave like the protocols and what
I actually saw a couple of pictures that had one of the swimmers, and his protocol was like,
you're right.
It was like a gram of test. It was like 7 units of GH. Like Carterine was in there on the protocol. Like
he must have been a fucking sprinter.
He was if it's a dude, I'm thinking like he was big. That was a big swimmer.
Yeah, that big swimmer. Like how the hell is he aerodynamic in the water? Like, like he's got some water resistance. He's not streamlined.
Brendan, how do you think you would do? Let's say you get a year and a half to train for the.
Okay, is this like previous to like me gaining 70 pounds? Because
when I think the better question is probably like, how do you think you would have done at the peak of your swimming career with drugs, knowing what you know now about gear use? Like, what would that have done for you?
Olympics.
Oh wow.
Not even a fucking.
What do you think the biggest factor is?
Because
do you think
believe
it's
it or not,
performance, or it's recovery?
It's recovery. It's not even so much the performance; it's the recovery.
Yeah.
Because you got to think like food wise, like eating and bodybuilding is nothing. Like back when I competitively swam for 2.5 to 3 hours a day, then dry land on top of it. We're talking, I'm swimming 10,000 yards a day, and not even all of that is swim. It's probably about like 40% of the workout is based on kick. So we're talking like 10,000 yards of swimming in general, cardiovascular. Your intake needs to be, it's fucking wild, but your intake needs to be anywhere between 7,000 to 10,000 calories a day.
Yeah, I know. We all remember seeing Phelps's like 12K
diet.
Yeah.
He like a shitload of hot dogs on his plan, if I remember
correctly.
Swimming
against Lochte, Phelps, all those guys. Like when they were super young. Like I swam against Ryan when he lived down in Florida, because then he went to the University of Florida. Michael grew up in, the Delaware, and then went to Michigan. But although I swam against all those athletes growing up.
That's crazy. So what would a like 7, because I know what a 7,000 calorie bodybuilder diet look like, but what does a swimmer's look like?
Bro, it's anything and everything goes.
Yeah.
But like when I say fucking pasta to your face, I could eat like 2 or 3 boxes of that shit a day, and it would just go right through you.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when I was playing sports in high school and stuff, like the amount of shit I was eating just to get food in. Like we'd get Domino's every once in a while at school, like, once a week or something. I'd get like double Domino's. So it'd be like 4 pieces of pizza. I'd get 6 bags of those chocolate chip mini muffins and like 3 of those like Hostess, like frosted honey buns. Like lunch was like 4,000 calories. And then I'd just be like home, just eating a shitload of food after practice.
Just to not lose weight.
I didn't gain a goddamn pound.
Of course. No. It was a great time.
My family would always be like, what do you got, a hollow leg? That's what they would always say. Because I would just be eating.
Yeah. I wonder nowadays, I mean, I'm not really tapped in with like high school sports, AAU or anything like that, but I wonder if meal planning is vastly different than it was. Because when I played AAU basketball and stuff, travel ball, it was like you said, Chris, it was pizza and Gatorade and
I
don't know. I don't know if they're eating better.
I would say like towards the back half, the last like 5 years I was coaching when I had like 150 athletes, ages 6 to 18, and then dealing with high school kids too. Like I wasn't as hard on the younger kids. Like I'd wait till they turn 13. You're starting to develop and everything like that. And then you're getting into a higher level of competition swimming wise. Like then I would really buckle down on their diet. Because there was certain levels, and it's called ASCA. It's the American Swim Coaches Association. So there was 5 levels, and you like had to earn your tier. It's like education. It's like, so I was at a level 5, and that was the highest that you can go. It's like pretty much getting a master's degree in swimming. And then they had a performance base too. So your ASCA level was based on 1 to 5 on a swim, like on a who you had for athletes. So like you'd be like a silver, a gold, an elite, like so. But like back to the diet part, like I didn't really start to engage dieting with those kids until they were 13 years old. Like enjoy, have fun. But at 13 years old, when you're starting, you know where you're going with the swimming career. Like if you have the potential to get a college scholarship, you know, so eating was crucial at that point. And I mean, like even then, like, but you're not, it's very similar to bodybuilding, but you're not ramming down like fucking 200, 300 grams of protein, like down, 150-pound swimmers. Like, but I tell you, like I had most of my older kids from 13 to 18, they were fucking built like brick shit houses.
Yeah.
But
Did
it's
you guys
key.
do like that 1 to 4 ratio of like 1 gram of protein versus 4 grams of carbs, like endurance athletes?
Close to it, because I mean, like you're swimming so fucking much and you're burning so much calories, and the last thing that you want them to, these kids would, no joke, they'd go through like 3 or 4 of these in an hour of practice, like just fucking chugging it down. Electrolytes was like so crucial and key, and stretching and doing dry land beforehand.
Not to sidetrack, but when you guys played like Pee Wee sports, were your Gatorade tubs, did they taste good or were they watered down to fuck?
I always brought my own. Because
Okay.
they always had like lemon lime, and it always was watered down because they had all the ice in there to keep it cold.
Terrible.
And I'm like, I was thinking too, I'm like, why do I want ice cold Gatorade? Like, yeah, it's refreshing, but like, give me some room temp shit or like some slightly cold stuff so it like actually does what it's supposed to do. I always used to show up to the game with like 4 of my own Gatorades,
Yeah. I always remember the Gatorade being ridiculously watered down. Yeah.
I didn't have the luxury of any of that until I was in college and track. And by then it was this like super specific formulated mix that they had, but it tasted like absolute ass. But you had to drink it after practice. Everyone had to have it.
Yeah, it was the same way. Like I didn't have any of that until college wrestling, actually. And I mean, I'm pretty sure they use Gatorade, but they just literally water it down. But even then, like, I'm fairly certain that was only like they only provide that to us really with like matches. Like most of the other time, practice shit, we didn't have anything.
Yeah.
I just remember at halftime playing football, they'd always just bring in like a box of oranges. We'd all just be fucking eating oranges at halftime.
So I was I'm getting off topic, but that's how my brain's working tonight. So I went to North Carolina A&T for a year. Great school. Kind of wish I had finished out there. But the other day I was watching a YouTuber and he was doing a tour of Alabama's facility for football. And I'm telling you guys, the most mind-blowing facility I have ever seen in my life. I'll send the video to the group chat later. It's just like these kids, I know they're elite athletes and they deserve everything they get, but like they have everything you could ever want in every building, everywhere. It's mind-blowing.
You know what's crazy too is a lot of these big schools, almost anytime they get a new athletic director, they get completely new equipment.
It's crazy.
I'm pretty sure
they'll have benefactors and investors and people on like the the board or whatever.
Boosters Club and all that shit.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm pretty sure Alabama's football team brings in more money than the entire rest of the school combined. Not athletics, like the whole school.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
not fucking doubt
When
that.
you put it into
one fucking bit.
perspective with the math, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
My gosh. Yeah, I can't imagine being a student athlete there, like on the football team. Like you wouldn't. Yeah, of course you'd want to stay for 4 years if you're not going to the league. Like
Yeah.
you live like a king, especially with the.
Well, you go to those schools, and first, like from the get go, your schooling is second tier to your athletics. Like you're there, your job is to be an athlete, and you go to school on the side.
For sure.
Not to
now
mention now they can get paid. Now these athletes can get
Yeah.
contracts. You know, I remember years ago when they started doing the insurance policies. You get an insurance policy on your college, athletics in case you get hurt, and don't get drafted or something like that. You get a massive fucking payout.
Yep.
You know, like I think it's cool that they do that. You know,
It's because you're the 1% of the 1%.
Damn
Yeah.
right. Damn
I'm
right.
mixed on the whole amateurs getting paid thing.
I am
For
too.
one angle, it's like Chris's point. It's like, you could blow your knee out tomorrow, and you got nothing left. You dedicated your entire life to it. Do you deserve to get paid a little money for that? Yeah, probably. But on the other side of it, man, college football is a fucking wreck. It's a disaster.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so is college basketball. Like Darren Peterson played for Kansas this year. I think his contract at Kansas was like $6 million or something like that. The dude sat out 3/4 of the season. He sat out 3/4 of the season because why play? You don't have to play anymore. You have that money. Your lottery pick next season. They just kind of shit out on the season.
Yeah, because they only have to play 1 year, correct?
Yeah, you just go.
That's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah. So I don't know. The integrity of the game is much different than it used to be.
Yeah.
I won't even get
hate it.
started on the portal.
that is
jumping.
the one
fucking
thing
hate
I
it.
will say, Mike, is that when I used to watch college ball a lot many years ago, I always liked watching college ball because they weren't getting paid, and it was like for the love of the game, and I feel like that was its purest form. So, I get from an entertainment point of view, and someone who watches sports, I get that you want to see like the guts and glory type shit on the field, But then the business aspect of it, it's like these kids are busting their ass. They could potentially get hurt. It's like they should have a little bit of a security net.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I think they could curtail it a little bit better. Maybe you come in as a freshman, you have a cap, like a $500K cap, depending on how you play that season. You get an increase next season, but I don't know. Some of these like $6-8 million contracts for freshmen is a little absurd to me.
What I want to know is how many of these college like elite level athletes have Quest bars on their diets.
That's a great question.
All right. Let's do it.
That's a good opening fucking line right there.
Great segue.
He just segued right into that.
Oh yeah.
Might as well just start talking about it now.
Oh yeah.
Introduce the topic, Mike.
The topic tonight is shitty coaches. I'll edit
thumbnail-
it in. Shitty coaches.
The thumbnail is going to be shitty coaches.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked quite a bit about it in the group chat because we all know shitty coaches. And so tonight we decided we're going to address it. What makes a shitty coach, what you should run for the hills from, just all of it in general. There's a lot of them out there.
Man, there's a lot of I know we've talked a lot recently about, some people that are the chat GPT coaches that literally you can tell it's not, you can tell it's chat GPT 100%. Like there's no thought to it.
If you copy and fucking paste right out of ChatGPT and then send it to your fucking clients and don't even change the format, you're a fucking idiot. You shouldn't be doing it in general.
Didn't we get some that weren't even copy and pasted? It was just straight up screenshots of ChatGPT.
Yes.
That's fucking gay.
It's
Come on, Mike, give it to.
I think
I want to hear this.
that's I think way more common in the industry than I think anybody really like realizes. I mean, I've sat behind coaches at shows that are on their phone copy and pasting stuff in a chat GPT and basically asking like, what's the adjustment? It spits it out. They take it, copy and paste it back, and they move on to the next one.
No fucking way.
Yeah. And listen, can chat GPT probably coach an average lifestyle person to get in better shape? Like
100%.
Probably. But that's not what you're paying $200, $300, $400, $500 a month for, right?
No.
And that is the most egregious. Like, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of shit that's like way more consequential and way more specific. But if you can't tell that your coach is copy and pasting shit from ChatGPT on some level, I blame you too, because you know what a fucking AI response looks like. You can go and do this yourself. You'll see what fucking emojis they use and where they put the dashes and the commas and the periods and what the format looks like. And if you're comfortable with that, cool. But I'm not comfortable with paying $300 a month for ChatGPT to coach me. No. So like right off the bat, you guys need to understand that like if you're seeing that, fucking run, right? Because the most important thing you should take out of this whole conversation tonight, there are hundreds and thousands of coaches available to you. So, and this isn't like 1995 where like Ronnie's mailing photos to Chad to get a fucking update. Like you can talk to anybody at any time of the day, WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever service your coach uses to communicate with you. There's no excuse. Like you don't need to pick the dude down the street because he's close to you, right? Like Olympians are being coached digitally, right? Even Olympians don't have all their coaches traveling to them for shows, and they're doing just fine. So take that from that what you will.
So I had somebody shoot me a message today and just ask, like, he wasn't inquiring or anything. I think he was just doing it for his own interest. He was like, so what apps or AI do you use to like, make plans, like make your diets? And I said, I've gone through a couple, like, what do you call them? Like calorie counter apps or, like MyFitnessPal type apps. And I was like, I use a paid version of I use a paid version of MyFitnessPal, and I plug everything in for each. I write my plans by hand. Like I'm going in and building these plans by hand. And he was kind of so shell shocked, and he's like old school. And I was like,
That's how it should be done.
Maybe like, is that old school now to just actually build these plans? Is that an old school thing?
Well, and you're throwing it in that app, right? Just to check macros, check micronutrients, all that stuff, right?
Making sure they're matching up.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like Mike
have we already crossed the line? Have we already crossed the point where this is like the new thing? This is what people expect?
I guess.
I've had people be like, "Oh, your diets isn't like an Excel spreadsheet with color codes and all this shit." And I'm like, "Look, that's what I was going to say. I'm like, Mike, you and I are coached by Justin Jacoby, who is definitely a top level coach. Our macros are not listed in any of the fucking diet plans.
Nope.
They're literally sent. They're sent via text on WhatsApp, and all I do is copy and paste it and put it in my notes when I have an updated thing. And it's super easy. All you need to do is read a goddamn text or, like a Word document or whatever. That's all you need to do.
I mean, it's cool if your coach uses like Kahunas or any of these other apps to communicate with you, because they can provide some value for especially guys with a lot of clients. But there's no reality in which you should be comfortable with being coached by somebody who uses AI to build plans. That's inexcusable for the amount of money you're paying and the trust you're putting in somebody to take not only your, if we're talking about bodybuilding, your competitive career, but also your health into their hands, and you're going to trust it to probably an unpaid version of the shittiest AI available.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing to put it in perspective for people who are thinking they need like all this different shit is some of the top coaches who've been around for decades will just send like a Word document to you of the meal plan only, and that's what you get.
Dude, for years, when I was with Brandon, that's what he would send me. It would just be a short email of like 6 meals, and it would be check in 5 days.
Dude,
And
that's how my first coach
just
was.
do it.
When I was coached by Jonathan Irizarry, like literally, I'd email him once a week. I'd email him my pictures, and he'd email me back just a Word document of, okay, here's the meal plan this week, and do X amount of cardio.
Yeah.
And that
That's
was it. That was it. And then like, okay, and then I didn't fucking message him or anything until the very next week when I sent a check-in, and that was like the extent of what it was.
100%. Yeah. And I understand that people might want more than that, or they might feel like that's, what they're paying for. If you send an email with, not much to change this week, follow the same, like maybe it doesn't feel like the value's there, but I don't know, if you're getting in shape and you're getting bigger in your off seasons and it's working, like, isn't that the fucking point? Like at the end of the day,
When you hire a coach, what you're paying them for is their experience and expertise, right?
Right.
It's up to you to follow the plan. Like I would never pay a coach and expect a contract. You know what I mean? Like you're not paying a coach for results. You're paying them for their guidance and expertise, and it's up to you to follow the plan and communicate properly with your coach. And, obviously like not skip cardio, not go out drinking on the weekend and, all that stuff. If I ever found out like my coach or whatever was like doing stuff through AI, I'm like, well, that's not his expertise anymore. That's a fucking computer program.
Right. Well, on that point too, just as a quick tangent here, like I didn't go off, but I made a story post about like pricing for coaching these days.
I saw it. It was a good one.
What Chris's point there is really important because like it doesn't matter what we're talking about, whether it's bodybuilding coaching or you're hiring a fucking plumber or a landscaper or an electrician.
Service.
You're not actually paying for the thing they're going to fix. You're paying for the expertise that gets the thing fixed, the experience, right? And it taking 30 minutes versus 6 hours, or it lasting 10 years versus being fixed in 6 months. That's what you're paying for. So if you're one of these people that's bitching about coaching prices, maybe you deserve an AI coach. But if you are bitching about it and you just can't seem to find a good coach, maybe you need to consider that things have changed, right? Like not only is the economy different, but you have the best coaches in the country have a decade of experience or more with dozens or hundreds of pro cards, Olympia appearances, Olympias. That is what you're paying for. Now, if you're not at the level of needing an Olympia level coach, don't fucking hire one, right? Like go find someone who's more entry level for you to get you going. Because you don't need, someone who's just starting bodybuilding doesn't need Jacoby to coach them at the beginning. There's so much that you can do on your own just to become a good trainee before you need to hire someone that costs so much money. But I can't believe we're starting this fucking podcast off with the idea that we're normalizing this AI shit. That's just mind blowing to me.
I've literally had people tell me that like, why do you try and wire it right plan? Why don't you just plug it into AI? Can't you just have a good workout and coach food just like that? Like, not if you want to be at a good level. Like I've literally had guys, especially who worked with me, younger kids, who were like, "You think you'd write a diet plan for me?" It's like, "Yeah, I could." I know they're not serious. We're like, "Well, I had plugged one into Chat GPT. This is what it gave me. What do you think about it?" I'm like, I'm not going to give you an opinion on Chat GPT. Was it a good plan? I'm not going to say yes or no. I'm not going to, because for one, Chat GPT cannot sit there and tell you about your fatigue levels. It's not going to sit there and go, "Oh shit, your numbers have dropped this week," or your energy's low. Maybe we should pull back a little bit and feed you a little bit more. Go back upstairs for a minute. And that way, we can drop the fatigue off and have some more progress back in the gym, instead of just, "Oh, here's the plan, just follow this," just because this is what Chat GPT spits out. It's not going to be able to do that for you. Like there's nothing in there that's going to be able to look at those variables at all. Like it's not a fucking chance.
It's coming from that younger age bracket too.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because they like. It seems to me that age group doesn't value human interaction like we do, and I wonder if that's what's driving this. It's like the devaluation of the human in the loop.
Yeah, I
For
think
sure.
they're so used to AI and everything else, like with everything they do. Like these kids, they're using fucking Chat GPT for everything they do in school.
Yep.
And there's no learning or knowledge that they're doing on their own. They're not willing to look into anything. It's I'm going to put this in Chat GPT and see what it tells me. Really, they don't give a fuck about actually trying to learn it or implement it themselves, or even go find a source like someone at all who will help give them the information and help actually teach them. Like there's so many kids, like young kids, you kind of see in the gym because like fitness is kind of just fucking trendy because of social media shit now. Not a single fucking one of them will come up to us in the gym like, "Hey man, I'd really like to learn from you. Can I get a workout in with you?"
Yeah.
But
Not
I've actually done that a few times over the years, and I've gotten clients out of it, which has been really nice. You know, like if you ask ChatGPT like what is 100 grams of cooked white rice, half the carbohydrates, it's going to give you like fucking 10 different answers, man.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, man. You're not going to get anything like accurate. People will just put that in and like, I'm like, all right, try it again, just with a different AI. And it's like, well, it's different. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, this is actually a great point.
This goes back to the communication part because those same people that won't approach you in the gym, you'll leave the gym and then 20 minutes later, your phone goes off and you're getting a message through IG.
Yeah.
Like the communication now is everyone wants to communicate via text or through IG or whatever the case may be. Like when I'm doing like an intake, I'm doing a phone call and talking to them or FaceTime. Yeah. And they're like, wait a minute, you do FaceTime for like the booking appointment? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to see how everything's going to vibe and how you are as a person.
Yeah, it needs to be a good
you can read somebody pretty well.
Yeah, 100%.
What else we got for shitty coaching?
Well, so I was going to say, first off, like these, I've never really used, I use Gemini to build these, thumbnails for YouTube, but that's the extent I've ever used it for. I really don't know much about AI, but I see a lot of videos on like Instagram where ChatGPT, I saw one recently earlier today where this guy asked ChatGPT how many E's are in the word 17. And it said fucking 3. So, and inaccurate, right? But there's a problem. He has to prompt it to get the correct answer. Right. So not only are you relying on a coach who doesn't know what he's doing and is asking a program, the program doesn't even seem consistent across the board. So you have 2 levels of flaw there. And I don't know, man. Like it's just we're in a weird spot.
I've known a couple of people that were getting coached by a high level name that at 20 weeks out they got their plan and it was like, this is what you're going to take at 20 weeks out. This is what you're going to take at 15 weeks out, 10 weeks out, 5 weeks out. And it's like, why? Like, what if there's no need for it? What if there is a need for a little bit more? What if there's a need for pulling something? Yeah. You know, like
I've seen that a lot.
That's the next huge one. Is like, if your coach is, man, if my coach planned out my entire prep, I'd lose my shit. But like more commonly, I see coaches planning out someone's entire peak week. Yeah. And it's like, bro, how the fuck can you know what somebody's going to look like on Thursday night when it's Sunday afternoon? Yeah. When I tell you, I almost get annoyed with Jacoby with how much we take pictures and change things. And I know it's necessary, but when you're tired and food's still low and you just want to fucking
the last thing you want to do. Yeah.
You just got to get up. I'm up every 90 minutes to 2 hours to take pictures. And then he's on his phone looking at the pictures we took, looking at what we just ate, thinking of what I'm going to eat. And then he sends me that meal in WhatsApp. So it's there for next time. And if your coach is planning your peak week, or God forbid, planning your whole prep, especially with drugs, fucking run fast.
Seriously.
Red flag. Big one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A thing that I notice, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, but a lot of coaches seem to be coaching, especially in the younger generation, because it seems like a viable income source that seems pretty easy, right? Versus they actually like coaching. I'm not going to say this person's name, but I know them, and the more conversations I have with him, the more it feels like he's only coaching because it's a way he can sit at his house, make a decent amount of money, and kind of live the bodybuilding lifestyle he hopes to do. And I'm not saying every coach needs to have been a competitor or competed at a high level, because we know that's not true. But man, these active bodybuilders, ex-bodybuilders that got to a high level, they got to a high level because they had a love for the game. And they're probably going to have a little more love for the coaching aspect than the guy who's just doing it because it's a lax paycheck in his mind. So I'm not telling you to go with every bodybuilder, because not every bodybuilder makes a good coach. But just be aware of that to some degree.
Yeah, so there's two things there, right? The first one is like, yes, I personally would not want to follow anybody who has not gone where I want to go, or has not taken somebody where I want to go, right? Like that should be like fucking foundational level. If you haven't done this, why would I trust you to do it now?
It's like it would be like asking a broke person how to be a millionaire, and they're telling you how to be a millionaire.
Right.
Yeah. And they haven't done it.
Good example.
You know what I mean? That's like my best analogy for that.
And the second point is like, to hear what you just said, Mike, like just because there's an IFBB in front of somebody's name does not mean they know how to coach you. And I'll tell you from experience, the best coaches in this game are always learning, and they're learning from different places. But the vast majority of coaches are generally taking how they were coached and then just repackaging it for you. And just because it worked for them or worked for their coaches, some of their coaches' best clients, does not mean it's going to work for you. And if that's the extent, right? If you get the feeling that your coach only has one tool and it's a fucking sledgehammer, probably not a place you want to be. Where like if the only thing you ever see is less food and more cardio, and you just run that shit straight into the ground, like will you get there? You probably will, right? But it's going to be fucking miserable. It's probably going to be an impact to your health. It's probably going to impact relationships. It's probably not going to be your best look possible, and you're going to be miserable. And it's almost sad when the result is good, because now you're convinced that this is the way to do it, right? And none of these top coaches, now I know the guys like, for instance, Cameron and Jacoby were both under Jansen, so things are probably pretty similar, but they're not the same, right? And you need to be looking for a coach who has multiple avenues to get you where you want to go, because you are not the next person. You are not their Olympian. You are not their nationals first call out person. Don't expect that just because they got a few results means that it's going to happen with you. But the next point, why the fuck are y'all hiring coaches without a resume? Right?
Yeah.
If your coach isn't winning, isn't putting people on stage in shape, isn't collecting pro cards, isn't getting overall wins, isn't putting people in the Olympia, at the various levels we're talking about here, why are you with them? There's no reason for it. You can talk to anybody around the world in a heartbeat right now, and you're going to pick the dude at the local gym or supplement shop because they're close to you. It doesn't make any sense anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just don't know, like these new clients have never done this before. Like they're just excited, and they just don't know the right questions to ask. And that's an issue.
Well, actually, that's a great point, because we can maybe try to make this not just a whole bunch of shit talking, but we can try and point you guys in the right direction too.
The yin to Mike's yang there too. The sledgehammer coach is not a great option.
No.
On the other end of that, there's a lot of coaches these days that promote themselves by saying, I'm the coach that you can just get absolutely peeled doing nothing. And there are a lot of those guys out there and gals out there as well.
I will put you on stage shredded, and you only have to do steps.
You just have to do steps. You can
Get the fuck out of here.
Absolute run.
Go fuck yourself.
Or the coaches that are like, I can guarantee you this, and this if you get on stage.
You can't guarantee shit. You don't know who the fuck is going to show up to show.
You don't know who's going to show up. You don't know what could potentially happen leading up to the show. If the person gets sick or they have out external stressors,
Mhm.
You know, like I had a client one time that, you know, he did the Palmetto class a couple years ago, you know, won the novice overall and won his, you know, it was his first show he's ever did, won the light heavyweight class. And, you know, he's like, you know, leading up to the show, he's like, you think I'm going to win? I'm like, I can't say that, dude. I can't in good faith tell you you're going to win. What I'm going to tell you is that you're going to be at your absolute best and you're going to have a fun time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes. If your coach ever says you're going to win this, no, don't fucking look like it. Now it's different if they're like, hey, you know, I think you have a really good shot at winning. Like it's going to be really tough to beat you. That's fine. That's perfectly okay to say because, like, yeah, that can be really true. But it's really that's open to who shows up and like, you know, some freak could show up who just is gifted genetically from hell, and sorry, it fucking happens. You know, but if any coach is ever said any kind of absolutes at all, or like, you know, it's a no because everybody's fucking different. I mean, every time I've like been prepping for a show with Cameron, I've looked at like what just, you know, sometimes looking at what other athletes he has going into those shows are doing. The meals he has, like, okay, they're maybe not in the same division, maybe they're a classic guy or they're a mixed physique dude, but look at their meals and stuff. None of our meals are the same. Like he has some dudes like loaded to the gills with fat every meal. And like mine was like, I didn't have fat until like the day before the show, you know? So like, if you have a coach and you're seeing his other clients have the exact same meals as you, like the exact same foods, not okay, maybe it's different portions, but like it's exact same foods for every single person. And it's like the exact same ratios of protein, fats, carbs, big sign of them just be like, oh, we're just slightly adjusting this for each person. Like I know people, men's physique guys that Cameron's had, whose carbs were like 300 grams a day more than mine.
For sure.
And he had like them eating fucking Kerrygold butter on like every meal. And I'm sitting there just like, fuck you, Cameron. Like, when can I get this shit to? I'm
fish
like,
and
I don't have
asparagus.
a single ounce of fat at all.
Yeah. That's actually huge, right? Because like, I don't know what your guys' process is like. If I can, I do a call like you do, Brendan. I like to see somebody's face, get their expressions, hear their tone. But my questionnaire to bring you in is probably longer than most forms you filled out at the doctor's office. And one of the questions I ask you is, what are you currently eating? If a coach onboards you and nothing you're currently eating is on the new meal plan, big fucking red flag. Right? Another one of those things that like you should probably reconsider what you're doing. And that's one of those things that leads to what I think, you know, we kind of talked our shit in the group chat, but that's one of those things that leads to you having a diet, you know, 2 or 3 weeks out of a prep that is literally just chicken, rice, whey, and greens, right? Because there's no diversity in your diet because they've eliminated it. What's that?
Quest bar too.
Yeah, the Quest bar was in that one.
Still fiber, right?
Yeah, fucking sugar alcohols too.
Yeah, fucking protein bars should not be part of meal plans, people. I'm sorry, they shouldn't. If you're in an off season and you're using a protein bar just because like you're out and like you just need something really quick, cool. But a protein bar should not be part of dieting for a contest.
Should not be
Absolutely
in your plan.
Absolutely not. No.
Should not be in your fucking plan at
You
all.
can get away with it for lifestyle clients, especially if like they're business professionals that are super busy.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing. Is there better alternatives than that? Fuck yeah. You know,
like respectfully on the whole like Quest bar thing, I think we all know why that was in the plan. We can just maybe we'll discuss it, maybe we won't. But
we're
fucked,
gonna,
dude. You're telling me somebody can't carry a shaker of a couple scoops away and a bagel with them wherever they're going and a little bit of peanut butter? Like, come on, man, just bring your fucking backpack. Because I tell my guys, like, I'm big on food. You're going to eat a shit ton with me. So if you're out and you know you're going to have a rough day, here's what I want you to have in your backpack because I don't want you missing a meal. I'd rather have you overeat a little bit or have imperfect macros than to skip a meal or then go buy something fucking stupid at the fair or at the movie theater or whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
it's a fact.
It's not that hard.
It fucking happens.
Yep. It happens to us all, right? Like there's very few, even at the elite professional level, there's very few guys that are robots. like Nick Walker's a fucking robot. Nick eats the same fucking meal at the same minute every single goddamn day, and that works for him. There's also a shit ton of guys that get super flexible in the off season, even some deep into prep if they're genetically gifted, and that works for them. But when you're working with a coach, you clearly don't know what works for you yet. You need to be searching for that, and I can assure you it's not eating prepackaged food out of your sub store, period.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll say this. I want to say this too. Another red flag to me is like, one, if the coach doesn't have like a client questionnaire form to fill out to onboard you, like that right there is a big flag, because you need to know, you need to get information out of your potential client, right? Mm-hmm. And the other thing too is look for like a sense of urgency with a coach. So for instance, like I have a very extensive like questionnaire as well. And it's like, oh, like, what are you currently eating? And I'll put like in all caps, like, please be detailed, give amounts. And I'll get like chicken, steak, shrimp.
You're not giving me much to work with, bud.
So what I would, when I get that and it's like, I'm getting ready to work on a plan or whatever, I'm like, hey, I need to have a phone call with you. And then I get on the phone. I'm like, okay, you didn't give me much detail here. Like chicken, like I want you to take me through a day of eating. Like when do you wake up? When do you do this? There's a lot of coaches that don't do that.
Yep.
And it's because they don't. I think they don't care, and they're just
dislikes and allergies are a good thing too. Like, I'm not gonna put together a fucking plan, spend 2 to 3 hours on this fucking plan, and put it together, and then all of a sudden I email it over, and then you're like, oh, I forgot to tell you I didn't like fucking egg whites, or I don't like this or that. Like, be detailed.
Well, I'm with you, Chris. Like on my questionnaire, right? Like I have those questions, but I also will always have people. I'll say for the next 3 days, I want you to write down everything you eat. That's snacks. That's not just your meals. I want a list of everything. Anytime something goes in your mouth, I want you to write it down, then send it over tonight. Do it the following day. Then you see their
eating habits.
Yeah,
you can see their eating habits.
Absolutely.
And we don't do that to throw any shade or like fuck with you, right? Like the point of all these questions we're asking, all the information we're trying to gather from you is to hit the ground running as fast as we possibly can, right? Otherwise, you leave us to guess. And then that period, which I think most of us are on the same page, like I usually don't change somebody's plan for at least 2 weeks, probably closer to a month if they're like, if they're off base.
Usually 2 weeks to a month.
If the more information you give us, the faster we get to a point where things start changing, and then we can start actually coaching you. But if I have to guess and see, I eat chicken, I'm like, fuck, that's all you can give me? Okay, well, you're about 180 pounds, so I guess your protein, I should probably put that at like 180 to 240. Your carbs are probably here, so we'll start here. And now we're shooting in the dark. Maybe we hit the target, maybe we don't. But that's your time. And you already paid me, so I don't give a fuck what we do with the time you paid for. But you paid for it, so you might as well try and make the most out of it. And I guess we probably should have footnoted the conversation. But like the idea of a shitty coach it's side by side with being a shitty client, right? Like if you want results, you need to be a partner in this because it's not my job. You're paying me for helping you along the way, not doing the work for you and being consistent.
The way I always word it to my clients and potential clients are I view coaching as a in-depth collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
And when they hear that, they're like, well, what do you mean by that? I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to give me that, I need data. The more data you can provide me, the better I can do my job. Like, help me do my job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm pretty much going to be mostly done with coaching, except for some very select people. Is I'm so sick of people just like being like, I just didn't feel like logging my food, or I didn't feel like logging my workout stuff at all. So
all right, we're done here.
And these are the same people that always get mad at you for like not changing something or like not responding right away, like immediately to them. It's like you literally will not do the bare minimum of even sending your check-in. Like you can't even send check-ins in the same spot with the same fucking lighting every time. Like,
That
okay,
is the
you don't want to get a light in the background. Cool. Just take your picture in the same spot, the same fucking time of day every week. And there's so many people like, well, I just can't do that. Like, then why are you trying to do this in any capacity? This is what every single bodybuilder who actually competes competitively does. It's what we all do. Yeah. Any coach you go to is going to have you do this. So why are you trying to fucking do it if you don't want to actually do it?
I even have a form that tells you how to take check-in pictures, like where the camera should be set up, how the lighting should be, how to do the poses. And then I have like an in-depth check-in form that you need to send me every week. I have a strict format. It's like, and it says it in my form. It's like, if you do not follow this format, I am not responding to you. Yeah. And it's like, if you don't put in like Bob Burr or whatever in the subject line with the date, and then like how many weeks out you are, or if you're a lifestyle client, whatever, like if it's not in that format, then I don't answer. Yeah. Because there needs to be accountability, on both parts. You know what I mean? Now, if I have a client that never misses check-ins and all of a sudden something's fucked up, I'm going to reach out and be like, hey, you okay?
Yeah.
Check-in today, But there's a lot of coaches that don't do that.
Right.
And they don't have no rhyme or reason with how they're doing things. They're just kind of winging it.
So what's some things that say if any of y'all were about to say, try and find a new coach for the people out there, what are some things that y'all would ask someone you're inquiring with about coaching to see if you're a good fit?
The very first thing I'm checking is how do their clients do? It doesn't have anything to do with talking to them. How do your clients perform? What do they look like? And listen, every coach doesn't get the cream of the crop talent, right? Because at the end of the day, this sport is about talent. Now you can overperform to your talent level, but you are going to hit a ceiling at some point. So not every coach has the luxury of, tuning a Ferrari. But I've yet to meet anybody that can't get on stage in a decent condition. So if you're not putting people on stage in good condition, then what the fuck are you doing? Like, why is this your job? That should be number one for me. Because I love bodybuilding. I love the process. I live this way, but I'm competitive and I want to win. And if you can't help me win, we're not having a conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
I would probably ask the coach and be like, hey, like, this is my coach experience that I've had with a coach before. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. How do you do things? Like, I want to get an insight on how they're handling things. I don't care so much about the format of the diet. Like, I like it as minimalistic and basic bitch as I possibly can get it. But, I also don't want to be one of those, and this is another red flag. Like, if you send a check into a coach, I think it's good that a coach should outline when an average response time, or a coach should communicate like, hey, it's Memorial Day weekend. I'm taking the weekend off. I will get back to all check-ins starting, Tuesday, right? But I can't even tell you how many times I've had people come to me complaining because they send check-ins and they don't get anything back for an entire week.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's another red flag. It'd be one thing if there was like an emergency or something or whatever like that, and they communicated that to you. But if you don't hear a response within like at least like, I always say for me, 48 hours. If you're a prep client, you'll get a response like as fast as I possibly can, no later than 24 hours. But it's like, if your coaches respond to you in 36 hours or 48 hours or something like that, that's a red flag.
One thing that I haven't had that many coaches, but there have been points where I've looked around for coaches. We have enough media outlets, social media outlets these days. You can kind of get a gauge on what this coach's stance is and how they prep people, their drug choices, their types of protocols, the way they run things. You can really eliminate a lot of guys and curtail like what I want out of a coach and kind of minimize it down to a small group of people. I feel like not enough athletes do that. Take your time. You don't have to rush these things. Take your time, watch these podcasts. We're fucking not just us, but damn near every coach these days is on a podcast somewhere. You can watch these podcasts and get a feeling for the way they coach and what matches up with your ideals, what you want as a client, what you want as a competitor, and make a much more educated choice.
And if you can't, just message somebody that's worked with the guy.
For sure.
Like the two things that I always do before I've hired any coach or I recommend people do, Mike already touched on it, but results first, right? And one of the reasons I hired Blue years ago is because you go to his page, it's not just his pros that he's posting. And like Mike said,
Right.
the guys, it's not that the guys he's posting are winning national shows or pro shows, but he's turning a guy that's like 50 years old and looks like shit into someone that, hey, that's fairly impressive 4 weeks later. You know what I mean? And he's working with guys from all different genetic pools and everything. And so results first. But the second thing I do is I'll reach out to people that work with or have worked with the guy and ask about their experience, because what I care about beyond that is, are they a good dude? Are they a good person? Do they care about you? Because there's so many coaches out there that are in it for the money and for their own fame and like notoriety, that they'll fuck you over left, right, and center if you're not benefiting them. So, I heard from countless different people that didn't even work with Blue anymore that he would still check in on them, how they're doing, whatever, and that he was just a solid guy. And like, I want to be associated with solid people. You know what I mean? So those are like my two things I've always kind of looked for and recommend people look for. But yeah, there's nowadays with social media, you have access to these people and their clients directly. So there's no reason why, every now and then, obviously, you're going to be surprised by certain things, but like, you should have an understanding of the type of guy you're hiring.
For sure. You touched on it a little bit, Luke, that the type of person they are. And coach toxicity is definitely a thing. I don't even like using those buzzwords like toxicity. Kind of sounds pussy, but like, I don't know how else I can put it. There are a lot of coaches that like to talk down about clients, ex-clients, other coaches.
Yeah.
And I know we're bitching about bad coaching today, but this is more red flags. We're not
right. And we're not mentioning names here. We're not telling you specifics for a reason, right? Because we don't want to be those people. And yeah, we all have these conversations in private, like, hey, bro, did you hear what happened to this person? Or did you see this fucking protocol? But coming out in public and doing that shit is a different story.
If your first ammo is when your client leaves you to go on Instagram or a story or a post and trash them, you need your fucking head evaluated.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a red flag too. Or like, if you're a first-time competitor or you're a lifestyle client and you're new to this, and let's say you make a mistake, because you know what? It happens. We're all a human. You make a mistake, and all of a sudden this coach puts a story online, like making fun of you. That right there, like, no, you don't need that. And the thing is, like, when you're a coach, like, why would you want to bash your clients and athletes anyways? Like, handle it off social media. Have a phone call like, hey.
Well, these guys, the thing is a lot of these guys have, I mean, it's all bodybuilders, but let's be real. But like, coaches have really fragile egos. And you leave them and they think that like this is business, bro. Like, okay, when I left Chris Total, right? I called him. I said, hey, bro, I appreciate all the time you've given me. You've put into this. I learned a lot from you. He's the only coach I'd ever had at the time. I was like, I just kind of want to explore some options, see what else is out there. Hope you understand, whatever. It's totally cool. And we're still in touch to this day, right? Totally cool. And because he's a professional, right?
Right.
And a lot of these guys, they think that what they say is their word is gold, right? If you question what they say, they'll yell at you. If they'll tell you to shut the fuck up and follow the plan. There's times for that, but like generally speaking, like if you go against anything they say, they get butthurt. If you leave them, they get butthurt. And it's just an ego sensitivity thing that a lot of people in the industry deal with, but especially some of these coaches. So they can't just be a man and just accept that, like, hey, he's moving on, or maybe we didn't match, or whatever it might be. There has to be a reason, and the reason to them has to be, oh, this client's a pussy, or this guy's a fucking this, or whatever. And that's what they go and they let everybody know, so they can try to like cover their tracks, because they don't want to be seen as, why is all these people leaving this guy?
Yeah.
Right?
There's
Yeah.
two things there. Right? There's two important things there I think you should highlight. One, about Tuttle specifically. I choose to believe that one of the reasons Tuttle is crushing it right now is because he is that way. Because
Yeah.
he's a professional, because he doesn't do that to people, because he cares, and because he just wants to be a good coach. And I don't think it with him, it's not even debatable. Tuttle's one of the best in the game right now. He's fucking killing it.
Absolutely.
He's unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah, it's as good as it gets. And the second part of it is, personally, when somebody leaves me, I ask, hey, what led you to this decision? Is there anything I did that you didn't like? Is there anything that would have kept you here? Like, how could I have done this better for you so that the next person doesn't feel the need to do this? And granted, you kind of got to bite the bullet to learn that, right? You got to make the mistake once to learn if somebody's that way or not. But that should be from that point moving forward a big indicator of that person's character and their intent in this game. If you leave and the question isn't, well, how could I have kept you from leaving? And it's a fuck you, get on your way. Huge red flag.
Yep.
I gotta say something too to caveat this from the client side, because I have dealt with this myself a lot. And I know I've talked to Blue, and he's talked about some people that have done this to him too. I was going to say, because originally I was going to say one of the things about Chris that shows this is like he's got a lot of clients that will leave him, bounce around, and come back.
Come back.
Brendan, I know you left him at one point. You came back. He welcomes you with open arms. I have tons of other buddies, same thing. And that's because he doesn't hold grudges. He's like, you know what? Go live and learn, and I'll be here if you need me, right? Now, that only works if, as a client, when you leave, you have the respect and the decency to contact the person and say, hey, I am moving on. Do not fucking ghost people and then pop up with another fucking coach 3 weeks later. It is the most disrespectful shit in the fucking world.
Couldn't agree more.
You're a coward of a man if you do that.
Yep.
And just grow a pair of because with social media, bro, and this stuff, like, we're behind phones, right? So you can just ignore people. No one's gonna find you. No one's gonna take the time to hunt you down. Eventually, it'll all fade away, and you can just ghost people. And I think it's weak. I think it's shitty. And I think if you're a decent human being as a client, you should not expect any sort of respect coming back towards you if you're going to treat your prior coach that way. So
100%.
first and foremost is have the decency and respect. I had a call with a client yesterday who's taking a break just for some financial reasons. And I told him, I said, listen, bro, I said, completely understand it. I said, I appreciate you telling me. I said, as long as there's honesty here and you're being straight up with me, I have no problem with this whatsoever. I appreciate you being upfront. I said, just don't let me find out in like 2 weeks you're working with somebody else.
Yeah.
Because honesty goes a long way. And so many people now are just afraid to be upfront and transparent with people. So they just run and hide instead. And I think that's the worst thing you can do. I think you burn every bridge and you burn every relationship. If the coach lashes out at you because you're leaving, that's a relationship you don't even want in your life anyways. So let it go.
Yep.
If you're upfront and honest and he's a good dude, he should understand that.
I want to speak to the other coaches out there for a second. We all are at different levels of coaching, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. We're all trying to perfect our craft. I always tell clients, I haven't turned anybody into an IFBB pro yet. That's one of my goals. That's something that I hope I can do. I haven't done it yet. I have a couple clients that I think have potential for that. We'll see where it goes over the next couple of years. But I do tell clients, if we get to a point where you don't want to continue trying with me, or you feel that you need that next level of coaching, that's
Then
okay.
Go. Yeah.
You can go. That is okay. I haven't achieved that yet. And if you feel like your time's being wasted, because we all have a finite amount of time in this game, you can go. But I think coaches need to be better at understanding you're only as good as you are good at coaching at this point. Next year, I'll be a better coach than I am this year. But that shouldn't be a reason for me to hold back clients that may be progressing past my abilities at this point.
There was a client, a men's physique client that actually turned pro that I coached for a while. And when he was preparing for nationals, and I was fairly new in this because this was back in like 2012, 2013. I straight up told him, I go, hey, look, I know you want to do nationals and go for your pro card. I haven't done a national show. I don't know what it's like. I don't feel comfortable coaching you for that. And I was like, I can suggest some other coaches that have done this. And then the kid ended up winning his pro card. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like, I'm not going to gatekeep a client because I want my clients to do the absolute best that they can. And if my expertise is limited at the time, in my experiences, I don't want to just selfishly hold a client and be like, well, let's see if we can do it. You know?
Yeah. But that comes from what I said. That comes from being secure and not having a fucking fragile fucking ego where you're able to say like, hey, it's all good, bro. Like, I get it. You're chasing a dream, whatever. I haven't been there, done that yet. If you take a chance on me, I appreciate it. But like, if I was in your shoes, I might move on too. Right. And knowing it's not a personal thing, knowing it's not like a, yo, fuck you, you're a shitty coach, I need a better coach. It's just, hey man, like, I'm trying to step up into the big leagues. You haven't necessarily been there yet. It's no hard feelings. It's more of a trust thing. And you need to obviously have that trust within your coach client relationship. So I'm just gonna, see what else is out there.
I really think you have to have more thick skin in the coaching game than you do as an athlete, I think.
Yeah.
For sure.
You need to have thick skin in bodybuilding, the bodybuilding space anyways, And then this is my next red flag. And this one here.
Hold on, Ranson. Did you have something to add to this one?
Yeah, kind of, because I don't remember if this is in the group chat or if I just saw it somewhere else in the past 2 weeks. Don't be a coach who's out there shitting on someone who's wanting to just try and do this themselves. And again, I don't remember if this is the group chat or not, but literally there was this coach literally like fucking like going after this person for wanting to coach themselves and doing this and telling them they had to have a coach. They couldn't be successful without one. And like that they're being stupid, not being coached by somebody. Like, no, there's so many different ways to this. Like, you can do this. Like, you can get to a fairly high level coaching yourself.
At the end of the day, I mean, above all else, I have some friends that are this way, and it's admitted. It's about having fun, right? And a lot of like my buddies that do coach themselves, they just enjoy it. They like trying shit and then seeing what happens and then learning from it. They don't like getting told what to do. They get like excitement from putting together their own plans, whereas I'll stress myself to fucking high hell. So like, I'd rather just pay someone to tell me what to do and be a retard.
Same here.
But like, but like my buddy, like he'd rather like fucking come up with some crazy stacks and whatever the fuck and this, that, and the third and see what happens and learn from it. You know what I mean? But that's at the end of the day, like you can't ever fault someone short. Maybe they could make more progress if they had a coach the entire time, but it's their life, bro. It's their career. It's their journey. If they want to try some shit, let them try some shit. They'll learn.
Oh,
all right, Chris, what do you got?
Yeah. This one here drives me up a fucking wall. When you're a client and you ask a coach like, hey, why are you doing this? Not because you're questioning them, but because you want to understand the process better. Because that's how I am. I'm autistic as fuck. Like, I want to know what the process is, right? I need to know what a process is before I do stuff, right? And if a coach can't tell you what their plan is, the reasoning why they're doing this, because this, and this is going to yield this, and here, and all they say is like, just follow the plan, trust me. That right there is a very big red flag, because a coach should be knowledgeable. That's what you're paying them for. You're paying for their expertise, and they should be able to still teach you and explain things to you, because I personally feel when you do that to a client and you can teach them things, now they know what to look for. They can also give you better feedback. Now, I mean, if someone's like, hey, what does fish oil do?
Google
buddy. Yeah. And I'm not gonna do that. But if it's like a
You know
methodology,
that
like,
chat GBT. You know that chat GBT we were talking shit about.
yeah,
Get on that.
right?
You guys
Yeah.
can use ChatGPT.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Chat GPT, give me a bullet point list of all benefits of fish oil. You know what I mean? That's what you can do. But if it's like, hey, like, why are we pulling cardio for these couple of days, or why are we doing a refeed, or why are we pulling this out or doing this? Like, you should be able to explain why you're
well,
doing it.
that ties into what I said too. Back, I mean, you're gonna
Exactly. That's what made me think of it.
yeah, I talk about this shit all the time with like these fragile egos and stuff in this fucking industry. But like coaches, some of them are the worst of it. And I know I've had friends tell me like verbatim and show me messages where like they might ask a question, like a very like X's and O's question about the plan. Like you said, like, hey, it all looks good, but like just out of curiosity, like, why do we have this here? Right. And literally getting responses like, don't fucking disrespect me. Do the fuck what I say or find somebody else. Like literally. And
What?
Yeah, and that
it's
is a
pathetic.
red flag. That is what
Yeah.
that is what you don't pay for. You don't want to pay to just be belittled like that.
No.
Yeah.
And just because you're a fucking bodybuilding coach and you tell people to eat chicken and rice doesn't mean you're better than the next fucking person. So this guy's paying you for a service. Like there's a line, right? There's a line where it's like, okay, dude, at a certain point, just shut the fuck up and eat the fucking food. But like, if you have a couple questions and you want to, like Chris said, like understand what the process is or what the thought process is behind this, that's very normal. And as a coach, your job is to get results. But I believe also part of it is to educate and
Yeah,
teach,
exactly.
especially younger guys. Teach them the process, why things happen, what to expect. Um, like, yeah, sometimes we got to wear a lot of different hats, but like, that's what coaching is. When you're a fucking football coach or hockey coach or basketball coach, you're doing those same things for young kids growing up, right? You're not just teaching them, the fundamentals of the game. You're teaching them like life skills, bro, like everything, right? And I think, like I said, there's a line, but as a coach, you have to be able to put your fucking ego aside and just help somebody out. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
The other part of
coaches
that
be
is like
nice? Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
one thing real quick. Like, yeah, the other part of that that I don't think most people appreciate at this point, like, bro, it's 2026. Competitive bodybuilding is like 80 years old now. There's no fucking secrets, right? Like, there's nothing out there that's like revolutionary and the secret sauce and like this one thing I know is gonna make you better than everybody else. Like, the only secret sauce to any of this, in my opinion, is spending enough time with a coach for you two to learn each other and get on the same page, communicate effectively, and execute effectively. There's no like secret food. No one's got a better drug protocol. Like, well, maybe some people do, but like in the realm of good coaches, like it's all the same, right? Like, we're all using the same compounds, all using the same peptides, we're all eating roughly the same foods, or at least the same type of macro splits. Like, any coach that's trying to sell you on something mysterious and like that makes them elite, fucking red flag. Walk away from that shit.
Yep.
Bro, I say it all the time too. Like you see a lot. Bodybuilders are very like not allowed them to think for themselves, right? They run after what everyone else is doing, and so you'll see guys like all run to the same coach after one guy has a good showing, right? As if he has
Yeah.
some magical thing. Like, bro, the grass ain't always greener. Okay, 9 times out of 10, you hire a new coach. He gets so excited for your plan, and he's going to come back with some magical drug you've never used or some carb cycling protocol you've never heard of. And it's the same meal one, egg whites, oats, meal two, chicken, rice, drugs, test, NPP, GH. It's all the same fucking shit. It's all the same shit in different amounts. Like the only difference that like what creates a good synergy and success between a client and a coach is the way you guys operate with each other. Communication, understanding your guy, like the coach understanding the client's body, the client giving good feedback, these kinds of things. It's not the drugs, it's not the protocols. They're all the fucking same. There's only so many drugs. I mean, at this point, like there's only so many drugs you can even use. You know, it all ends up being the same shit over and over again. So like, it's not as flashy as people think. Like I said, the grass ain't always greener. Just like take the time you need and pour it into this. It's a decade plus. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to talk about what gets you results, and this is again just my opinion, but you should strive to get to the point where you know what your next check-in will look like. Like I pretty much know when I send my check-in to Jacoby what it's going to look like when it comes back, because I know what I look like. I know how he coaches. We've been doing this for a few years now at a high level. I know what it's going to say. Now that I might be off by a few grams here, a few grams there, he might pull something or add something a week early or late compared to what I expect, but that's where you want to get to, because now there's no like I don't ask questions anymore because I understand what his process is.
Yep.
We have a conversation about my feedback, not like me asking, hey man, why did you pull Proviron and add this, or like whatever the fuck it is, right? You should be trying to get there. And if you're coach hopping, you are as much, if not more, of the problem than the coaches you are leaving because you think they're not serving you. Even a shitty coach, with given enough time, can get you to a moderately good place. I'm not telling you to waste time by staying with a shitty coach, but the key factor here is time, and your coach needs more of it, period.
No, fully agree.
I agree with that as well.
Man, any other red flags that we can think of off the top? Actually, what did
I get very weary when coaches have people on like super fucking low calories right off the rip, like 1,000 calories, 1,500 calories.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're not going to be able to burn
that's-
shit.
Because then it's like, okay, like where can you pull food from that?
You can't.
You know, I mean, granted, there's going to be some people that are going to be on much lower calories, you know,
For sure.
at certain times. You know, when you have like those zero carb days and you're only eating like 1,200 or, 1,500 calories from protein and a little bit of fats, you know what I mean? Like that's part of it. Sometimes it happens. But, when you're starting out and it's like, oh, we're just going to cut calories this fast right off the bat. It's like,
Yeah, I'm gonna be on. I mean, if you're taking a calorie drop down to like 1,500 out the rip off of some, I don't know many scenarios where that's applicable at all.
Mm-mm.
I mean, maybe you guys can think of one. I don't know. On a grown man, over 200 pounds, like
yeah.
that doesn't seem like if your coach is doing that, then you tell everybody and make sure this guy doesn't coach people ever fucking again, because that's insane.
Yep.
So you're asking if coaches should be nice, right?
Yes,
this will be good.
This is where I fall short, and I'll be very honest about that. I'm kind of a blunt person because that's how I was always coached in sports, in bodybuilding. My coaches have always been old school and kind of blunt, just like
same.
And that's just kind of how I feel. And maybe this is a horrible take, but fuck, we're men, right? Like, just fucking do shit. Just do work. Just do the fucking work. Like, and so sometimes I do have to check myself because it's hard to depict what tone is via text message, WhatsApp, whatever it is. So I've had to take my time, and I rewrite a lot of messages to sound nicer. I've talked about that before. But I don't know if coaches, what is trying too hard nice for clients, and like where the line should be of like, dude, like, come on, just lock the fuck in.
So with all my different clients, I ask them questions. Like, did you ever play sports? Did you get coached before, playing sports, whatever? Were you on the math team and the debate team? You know what I mean? Like, I'll ask questions like that because it gives me insight to how I want to talk to them. Like, I've got some clients where I'm very nice to them, and I gotta give them, a little bit of positive reinforcement. They do perform better doing it. I've got
Yeah.
other clients that are just like, if I'm fucking up, just tell me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can be super blunt. You know, there's been times where I've worked with the clients where I'm like, hey, dude, I need a real talk with you. Like, you're fucking off, and
Yeah.
you need to fucking shut that shit down and lock the fuck in. And they're like,
Yeah.
all right, that's all I needed to hear. Say no more. You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna
Then there's other ones where it's like, hey, look, listen, you're doing this here. This is going to lead to this result. If you keep doing this, it's going to be not what you're expecting or wanting. Like, this is the reason why. And you got to be professional about it and stuff like that. So it really depends on the client, I think, you know. But I mean,
Yeah.
it does come a point where it's like someone's missing check-ins, someone's missing meals every fucking week, someone's missing cardio sessions every week. They're missing their water. It's like, hey, dude, what are we doing here at this point? You know, like, you're paying me, but you're not following the plan. Like, you know, do you want this? I don't want
Here's
to
an
waste each
example.
other's time.
So I had a client. He's recently started prep, and he didn't send his check-in on Sunday. He said he only had time to, I won't say who it is. He only had time to send me weight, that's a very small piece of my check-in sheet.
It takes
So he
5
sent it on
fucking
Monday,
minutes
but
to take pictures.
he led with, so I ate too much this weekend, which was very perplexing because it's like,
There
you
it
have a
is.
set 6 meals. How can you eat too much? There's only this amount of food you can eat. So
He doesn't want to
you
see
take that
what you
it
look.
is.
He doesn't want to see how he's not sending those check-in photos because he knows his body's fucked up and you're going to call him out on it.
Yeah, so he obviously binged a little bit and ate off plan, and he was up 3.5 pounds or something like that. But the nice part of me is it's really hard for me to write a response that's nice to somebody who has paid me, told me they will do whatever it takes to achieve this goal, and they want to look the best they can. That's really hard for me to write a quote unquote nice response. Now, the response I said was the real response, right? Like, dude, there are going to be guys at this show who don't fucking miss, even at the regional level. There are guys who are trying to win their first overall. There are guys who are going to be requalifying for national shows. And I promise you, they do not fucking miss. So
that's a good way to like, it's a good way to reiterate that to that particular client. Like, hey, do you think that any of these other guys that you're potentially going to compete against, do you think they're missing? Do you want to step on stage and think, did I do everything that I could to come out with the win? Or do you want to be the guy that's standing on stage saying, fuck, I wish I didn't do that?
Exactly. But I guess it's hard for me to articulate that in a quote unquote nice way, right? Like, and maybe this is a personality deficiency that I have, but like, bro, if you want something and you tell if I told any of you that I wanted to do something, I promise you, when I say I want to do it, I'm going to chase whatever that is fucking relentlessly. Mm-hmm. And I think I do have a hard time relating to somebody who doesn't quite have that same mindset, especially like we say, when it's paid for and you've told this person this is what you want to do and you are willing to do what it takes. I guess it's hard for me to make that switch to write a quote unquote nice response.
You know, it's a little easier for me to do the nice response because when I worked in the hospital as a dietitian, like, you can't talk to patients like that. Like, you have to be super nice, super diplomatic, and you can't just go in there and be like, you're a type 1 diabetic. Why did you just drink a whole bottle of fucking Jameson and then eat a whole pizza? Like, what are you doing? You fucking moron. But I mean, like, that's the type of shit that would happen, you know? Yeah. So it's like, you could be like, you messing up again? You got to talk to them almost like, in a nice, civil way, which thank God I actually had that job because it does help me handle clients a little better, because there's times where I'm just like, oh my God, why?
What were you going to say, Mike?
I think the root of this conversation comes down to finding a coach that coaches the way you want to be coached, right? Like, yes, we all need to be a little bit flexible. Like, I would rather be blunt because I prefer my coaches blunt with me. And that's been a thing since I was a fucking little kid. But we need a little bit of flexibility because some people, like Chris said, do perform better when they get a little bit of a nice push, and some people perform better when you just hit them with a brick. But
It's true.
if you
That's the truth, though.
if you're expecting your coach to drastically modify the way they coach to fit your personality or your mental state, you might do okay, but you're much better served with just trying to find someone whose default is close to what you need, right? Because if you're going to make me, we're making a Venn diagram of what you need and how I coach, the more those overlap, the better. If you're expecting me to operate on my extreme just to reach you at your extreme, we are going to butt heads. There's going to be miscommunications. You are not going to want to overperform for me as an athlete.
Mhm.
And that needs to be the goal, right? You should fucking get a check-in from your coach and like be fired the fuck up to go get it. And if that means they got to be blunt with you and yell at you because you fucked up or because you need to push harder, or it means you need a little coddling, like that's cool. It's not what I want, but it's cool. Go find someone who coaches that way because there are coaches that do that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well said. I think it kind of goes back to what we were saying. We have all these tools to kind of decipher through all these coaches and their styles of coaching and their personalities. And like Mike said, it comes down to matching to the best of your ability, personality type, coaching type, all those protocols, and making the best educated guess on who matches well with you. I don't know.
I'll share this little story. I think it's funny. So my first prep with Jacoby, I was a little bit of a head case. And it's just through past experiences before, you know what I mean? And he could tell that I needed a little bit of positive reinforcement every now and then, which was I never asked him for it, but he kind of could tell, which was nice. You know, once we were getting closer, like I was freaking out about not making weight. And, you know, even Jacoby reached out to my wife and was like, hey, he's doing fine. Calm him down, please. You know, but now this year, it's like things are so much smoother. You know, I know I look good right now. Like I don't need any sort of reinforcement. All I need is just my plan to just keep continuing and kicking ass. You know, so he's changed his coaching perspective a little bit with me this year, just because I think he sees a little bit different. You know, sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I just say that comes with you sticking with the same coach, though, right? Like that comes with that time in the game with the same person.
Yep.
You learn your personnel. You adapt to it. And that can't happen if after your last showing you say, "Hey, I'm fucking done with Jacoby. Let me jump ship and go try somebody else." Right?
No. And you want to know something? Even if I prep this year and let's say something fucked up happens during peak week, whatever. Mistakes happen. Sometimes there's variables you can't control, you know?
Yep.
And I understand that, but you know, other people may not. They may just be like, oh, this person had one job to get me to do this. And then they just like, fuck you. And then they leave. And I don't think that's the right thing to do because, you know, I mean, look at it. Like, Martin Fitzwater, he's been off and on his last few shows. He's been on, he's been off. It's like it happens sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually a bit opposed to that. Not that you should leave a coach after one bad result, but there's an extreme to this that I think is going on where people are too loyal. And not to single out Martin, because that's obviously a very advanced relationship. Like he's at the top of the game. Things are different. But if you're not getting the results you want from your coach, like this is, like Luke said, this is business, right? Like if you're friends, cool. I don't think you should be coached by somebody who's your friend first, but that's a personal thing.
I agree.
If you're not getting the results, I don't understand the loyalty. And at some point, like I've had clients where I was like, hey man, like I would love to keep you as a client, obviously, because I make money off you and we work well together, but we're not getting the results that you're paying for.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be offended if you go somewhere else. Like there's something I can't figure out here. Let's have this discussion. And if if you got a coach who's trying to pull the wool over your eyes when you have a bad result, I think you need to look at what you're getting
you're
out of
working
it, ship
with,
it
yeah.
if it's really worth it, right? Like, because
Yeah.
the goal here should, unless you just do this for fun, which some people do, the end result is the result should be like, that's the thing, right? Like that is the thing we're chasing. And if the result is consistently not what it needs to be to achieve, not even a win, because wins are, like we said, only one person can win a show. But if it's not continual progress, like if your conditioning's not getting better and your peak's not getting better and you're not adding tissue in the off season, like red flag for me.
Yeah,
Yep, that right there, the constant inconsistency, that is the red flag.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, fellas, this little doggy behind me wants to go outside.
This cat's driving me fucking nuts.
No, that's a cute cat. Don't talk bad about him.
Both of them. They know what time it is, so they want to eat.
Oh yeah.
My gray cat sits on my bar top chair right next to me the entire time I do podcasts. Waiting.
Well, he was just sitting on the trophy case, and I have like the light, and he's like whacking the light. Hey, bitch, feed me.
Yeah,
I think that was a good recap on red flags and what. Oh, another thing too, I want to add. If your coach is sharing results online before you can even fucking share results, or you're taking pictures, if you're taking pictures with your athletes in every single fucking photo, another red flag.
Yeah. I fucking hate those.
That might be a little targeted, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to cut the recording, and you're gonna have to tell me who that is.
Oh, I already know who it is.
I'm shocked if you don't know who that is, Mike.
I know who it is.
No, I'm saying Condell.
I probably do. I want to make sure I know.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not even just the photos. Like, if the coach is making the process about them, right? Like when I post
that's
clients,
my problem.
I almost never talk about me when I post a client. It's
ever.
Justin did fucking incredible. He got in the best shape of his life. He worked his ass off, did everything I asked him to, got this result better than he's ever done. Fantastic work. It's not I did such a great job. Look at this kid. Like, that's not what you hire us for, right? If you're good at what you do, the work speaks for itself. And maybe we're getting into something else here where, we talk about all these coaches with podcasts. If your coach is constantly having to plug their process and their clients and the way they do things is better than everybody else and shit talking specific coaches, giant red fucking flag, man. Because, we talked about Tuttle. Tuttle doesn't do anything but post images of the people he transforms.
Yep.
That's it. Right. And it works because that's what Tuttle fucking does.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what you should be after.
I also don't like when coaches are always in comment sections arguing with other people too, constantly, like arguing with like other coaches and doing that stuff.
You
it's
make
like,
yourself look bad.
Yeah. It's not how it good. It's the same thing in sales, man. It's like, if I work for a brand and I'm like, hey, all the other brands suck, you should buy mine, red flag. I'm not going to buy from you. I'm buying for you because it has reputable service or the product is really good. It speaks for itself. Like, same thing with coaches.
100%.
It's about your clients. It's not about you.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Put a bow on it. Wrap it. Beautiful.
Send it.
Send it. All the others. Clip it. As Brendan says. Clip it.
I'll clip it. Clip it.
Clip it. All right. Well, I'll see two of you on Saturday.
Yes, you will.
No,
you'll see me on Friday because we're lifting together.
True.
What
Facts.
show?
Just Rhode Island.
Right.
He's at, and from what I heard, he was at 170 for registration on Monday.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
170 like individuals.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
not including crossovers.
Okay.
That's not even including crossovers. So he should be hitting 180 athletes, and last year was on 150.
Nice.
And that prejudging went from noon till 4:45.
Yeah.
They took
that
a
was
30-minute
that was my
break.
first overall. Was the Rhode Island show before Justin took it over. It was
Fuck
still with Nikki Novice,
Yeah,
I think it was.
Oh, Nikki.
Hey, mine too.
Yeah.
I won it in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, it's a good show. I'm glad it's back.
What was
Yeah.
it? Was it the MPC Rhode Island?
It was when Nick had it. It was the
Wasn't it like the rock star?
Rhode Island
Yeah.
Muscle.
Rhode Island, Red Island,
Rhode
Muscle.
Island
Yeah,
Muscle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
because
got-
I did
I got
I
one
did a
too.
Rhode Island show for shits and giggles in 2018.
Me and
I
Mike
was-
competed in that same show.
I was
in
probably maybe
2018.
like 50%. I did it for fun, and I was like, I'm never doing this
There you go.
again.
I have the same
Hold
one.
on, hold
Mike.
on, Mike. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on. I'll get
Y'all
mine
got
too.
one?
Hey,
Mike, you
yeah.
didn't say- this was 2018. I got third in heavyweights.
Wait, you were at that show?
I competed in it.
Hey,
What the fuck?
So,
Yeah, how crazy
you
is
were-
that?
Mike, me and you were at the same show. You won bodybuilding. I won physique.
What year did you win it, Mike?
that would have been 2019.
Okay,
Yeah,
29.
I
On
was-
the
I was
bodybuilding
20 I
overall.
competed in the show in 2018.
Me
Damn,
too.
that's
2018. What are the
Funny
fucking
story
odds that the
about this.
three of us were there in 2018?
Wow,
You guys even
that's
know each other?
crazy.
No.
No.
No, I didn't know. No,
The funny
I looked
thing
like,
about that
I
show,
looked
though,
like fucking shit. I looked like
The
12
overall-
weeks out.
the overall trophy from that show is the biggest trophy I've ever got. Not nationals, not winning a pro show. It was an overall Rhode Island, and the bodybuilding class was like 12 guys.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Promoters,
Nick-
you got to do better.
I love Nicky
seriously.
Davis, but all I got was that trophy. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Wait, Mike, were you light heavy?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was a light heavy.
I remember you now. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, he looks good.
I was
Mike
I
did
think
not have
Mike
long
Lam-
hair then.
Mike Lamastro
No, he
was
didn't. He
in
had
my
short
class
hair.
too.
He had short hair.
Mike
That's
Lamastro.
crazy.
Mike Lamastro was what, the heavyweight? He was a heavy or super?
He was
I
the
might have
only.
been-
I think
Mike,
he
he was
heavy.
the only super, but he posed with us in the heavyweight class.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. And there I was in my board shorts, sitting in the crowd watching YouTube. Fucking jangle.
That's funny.
That's funny shit.
Oh shit.
Wow, small world.
We should clip that.
We should, for sure.
Well, enjoy the show, boys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We will. All right, fellas. Mike, I'll
All
see
right,
you on
guys.
Friday.
Have a good night,
good
y'all. Take it easy.
Bye, guys. Take care.